Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Taisha Mills if you're new here, and this is not a vlog, but I am going to tell you my labor and delivery story. So I don't know if I'm going to put a few clips in, but I'm going to retract my labor and delivery story. My baby she just turned 9 months now, but I'm going to go back. I had to go look up some dates and stuff for y'all to get my time stamps together, but I'm going to tell you the story and include what I can because we couldn't really record much. So here we are. Alright, so I was induced. I had to get induced. Didn't really have to, but I chose to get induced because at the time James and I were moving. So Tegan was due June 20th of 2023. We had our last doctor's appointment before she came on June 28th. And so we were a week and a day. I think that's what it made. Something like that. She was overdue. Well overdue in my brain. I was exhausted. I was tired. Baby girl was overdue. And at that appointment on June 28th, I still had not dilated. I was getting checks because I really wanted to know how much I had dilated. I remember feeling things. I remember that week, leading up to her due date, I was getting really bad back pains. It felt like contractions in my back, and that was right before she was due. Turns out she was facing my back, or she was facing, no, her back was facing my back. And so her face was in the placenta, and I had an anterior placenta, so it was at the top of my belly, and her back needed to be facing that placenta, or her face needed to be facing my back. And so I think what was happening, either she was moving or maybe she was trying to move down, but because her back was facing mine, it was giving me the worst back pain. So I'm like, oh, labor is about to be crappy if she's like this. So right before her due date, I had to do a lot of I'm talking to my doula, and I'm like, what do I do? She's tearing me up. And so I did all these things, inversions. I was on I don't remember the name of any of these things, but where you I got on my couch, butt in the air, head on the floor, trying to get her to turn. I was doing these hip turns on the chairs everywhere for 10 plus minutes at a time, all day long, breaks in between. I'm on the ball, trying to get her to move down, because the last few appointments I had not dilated. She was still high. I could feel her high as hell. So I was like, oh God, girl, come on. But they confirmed that she did flip, or spin, whatever you want to call it. She spun, still head down. She was head down the whole time, thank goodness. And she spun, so her back was towards the placenta, which, from what I understood, was optimal for delivery. I was like, okay, bet. Thank you, Tegan. Thank you for spinning. But then the 20th came, and there was no sign of her coming. I'm doing curb walks. I'm walking up and down the steps. I'm doing the mile circuit 2-3 times a day, trying to do a mile circuit. It was just she was not budging. Tegan was very comfortable. She was not budging at all. So so we made it to another appointment, and she was at least a week or so overdue. And my OB office, that particular doctor was like, okay, well, we're going to recommend an induction because, they like to tell you that at 42 weeks, they don't want to risk it or something. And I was like, okay. I consulted with my doula, and, she made sure that I knew that if I wanted to wait for her to come on her own, that I absolutely could. That is solely up to me. That was completely my choice. And I heavily considered that. I really did, because I really wanted her to come on her own. But I was exhausted. Tired. And we were moving, so our lease was already up. We had already asked for an extension at the place we were at, and I'm just like, great, like, she's not here and we don't know when we're coming. And considering the stress that it would have had on myself or James had my water broke dead in the middle of trying to move, I was like, I just don't want to risk that for our sake. And so we based us moving off of like her coming. So we just couldn't risk any more time. And so solely based off of that, I decided to get induced. So June 28th, we made the decision to get induced. And I remember leaving the office because my husband couldn't really give me too much input, because ultimately it was up to me what I was comfortable with, what I wanted to do. And I remember being really emotional, because it was just kind of getting real for me. Like, I'm really about to go into labor. Like, this is about to happen. And so that appointment was on June 28th. We made that decision. I called my doula, and she, told me what my options were. And I remember making the appointment in Home Goods, because the doctor's office told me they would call me. So at that time, I was not working because we were on summer break. I work in the school system. And so I was like walking around. I did my very best not to sit down. Even maybe I walked a little slow, but I walked around. So I would go to the stores because it was hot and the air conditioners in the stores. So I would go to the stores and like Target, all different Targets, Home Goods, wherever I had a buggy to lean on, and I walked. And so I was in Home Goods, and they called me to schedule. And I scheduled my induction for like Friday. It was interesting because, you learn and discover that the way the hospital works, they base, like when you get induced, they call you to come. So you just have to kind of be ready to like come. And we had already packed hospital bags. Like, we were ready to go. But, they call you whenever, and you're just expected to be ready. So they called us. I think they like to bring you in overnight or something like that. Yeah. And I wanted to go like in the morning. So they called at like 1 a.m. Me and my husband are knocked out. Like, knocked out. I'm surprised. I think I had got up because I was using the bathroom a lot in the middle of the night, and I saw that I had missed their call. And so I called them back, and they're like, can you come in? I'm like, listen, my husband is knocked out. Like, we're not coming in here right now. Can we come in the morning, like after we're rested, because you literally just broke our sleep. So we didn't go in until like 6-7 a.m. or something like that. I was keeping everybody updated via text. And we went in, I believe it was that Friday, June 30th. I'm pretty sure it was June 30th. I think it was that Friday or Saturday morning. Maybe it was Saturday morning. Somewhere in there. And we went in, and we sat in a waiting area, like a waiting type room, for a good minute while they got another bed together. Today is July the 1st, and today we are 41 weeks and 4 days. It's Saturday, 4 days, and we are in the labor and delivery unit waiting to start this induction process. The hospital's like very busy, so it's gonna be a long ass day. Yeah, Tegan, on your ass. So we can do what we gotta do. The room that they have us in first. Bump. Socks. And James over here doing
what's up?
All the things he has no business. I don't know if he's gonna be good at this daddy cam thing, but
Me? I'm amazing. Don't ever play me. I'm like DJ Khaled. Play it yourself.
So yeah,
are you supposed to do a video to her?
No, oh. I ain't did this one. Are you ready?
Yeah, Sam. I'm ready to get over. I'm ready to hold the baby. This is life. We created this. I'm only gonna drop the baby, but I'm ready to get it over.
You got a long way to go.
I've been pregnant for way too long.
That's what they want us to do.
We're doing that.
Over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sitting on this side. Yeah. Here we go.
Look good, girl.
Here we go. Looks so slow.
Looks so what?
They were like delivering babies, like boom, 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 like it was like back to back. Seemed like you heard a little song play the whole time. But we got in there. It was me and James, and we were just waiting a while, and it took a while for us to get a room. Probably like hours. They came in, got our information, gave me the monitor to monitor her heartbeat and all that stuff, to monitor, and all the things to monitor my contractions. And the lady was like, yeah, you're contracting. And I thought, oh damn, I didn't realize it. Like, I didn't really know I was contracting. I knew I was feeling some things, but I didn't know they were contractions. So we're waiting. His mom got excited, so his mom and grandma sat up there with us a little while we waited to get our room. And then we got our room. I had hoped for a water birth. I took the class and got the certificate to have that option, but it did not turn out that way. We'll get there in just a second. But we got into the room, pulled out all the things I brought. I brought a diffuser with my oils. I brought snacks. I had snacks for myself. I had snacks for James. We got into I had my own gown. I don't want to wear their gown, so I had my own gown. I got off Amazon, and it was like I had Velcro spots, so if I needed to rip something open or something like that, they could. And oh no, I wasn't. No, I'm lying. I was not in a gown. I was in a nursing bra the whole time. Because okay, yeah. So I think the gown came after. Anyway, I was in a nursing bra the whole time. And I remember just like getting cozy in the bed. And then we opted for Cervidil to induce. So they can do Cervidil, which is like a little thing that they insert. They use like little fingers to put it up to your cervix. Or is it the balloon? To help you dilate, to open your cervix. And I didn't want to do the balloon. And I think they could give you a pill. It's the pill. The Cervidil or the pill. It's the pill that you can take. But I didn't want to do the pill because my doula had explained to me that if they do the pill, they can't really, there's no control over the way your body is going to respond to that pill. Stretch my legs out. So there's no way that you're to monitor the way your body responds to that pill. So if they give you the Cervidil, they can take it out if it's necessary. And I think after that they do the balloon. Anyway, so we did the Cervidil and we just kind of waited. We played a few games. I think my mom came. Did my mom come? We had a few people come wait around with us while we waited for my water to break. And we waited. And we waited. So that was majority of it, right? And then things just started happening. So we're waiting, and I'm like, James is trying to take a nap, I'm trying to catch some sleep. And I remember like finally getting comfortable and falling asleep, and nurses are rushing in, right? And I'm like, what the hell? And like one is turning me on my side, one is checking the monitor, like shaking me a little bit. Turns out Tegan got a little bit too relaxed in there, and her, heart rate dropped. Thankfully, it came right back up. But it freaked us out. it was like 3-4 nurses in there, and we're like, what the hell? Like, what is happening? What is going on? Like, we were startled. That happened twice. So that happened then, and then I want to say a few hours after that. I think, yeah, in a couple hours after that, it happened again. And so the nurses were like, nope, we got to take this Cervidil out. So they took the Cervidil out, which it's literally like a little piece of cloth. So they took it out, and we just waited some more. It was like overnight, and we waited. And I remember, I'm going through the contractions, I believe, and I'm feeling I'm feeling fine, but I kept having to pee. Like, man, I gotta pee. Man, I gotta pee. Man, I gotta pee. So I kept getting up, going back and forth to the bathroom. And then I'm sitting on the bed, and I look down. Mind you, I can't really see past my belly at this time, but I look down and I see I have my lights off the entire time. During my labor and delivery, there were really no lights on in my room, because no, I don't do that. So I remember looking down, and it was just dark liquid, and I'm like, I freaked out. So I'm like, James, like, call the nurse. I call the nurse. I'm like, I'm bleeding. Like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm freaking out. Like, what is this? I can't see past my belly. Turns out my water had broke, and it was dark because there was meconium in her bag. Baby girl done pooped in her bag. So I'm like, oh Lord. So I remember like reading or hearing that if there's poop in the bag, like, they have to hurry up and get baby out. But apparently, if you are past a certain date, and because she was almost 2 weeks overdue, it wasn't like they weren't freaking out about it. She was fine some kind of way. The girl was fine. And so contractions started. I remember moving around. My doula came, and we moved to the toilet and moved through contractions. I pulled out my TENS machine. I stood up, moved my hips around. I remember them hip squeezing. Oh boy, them hip squeezes, boy, like hip squeezing the mess out of me. Like, I was struggling a little bit. And then I think my husband says I was 6 centimeters dilated, but my doula said I was only 4. So I was 4 centimeters dilated, and I was falling asleep in between contractions. And I said, if this is like this at 4, there's no way I'm gonna make it to 10 and push. There's no way. I'm exhausted. Like, I legit can't keep my eyes open right now. And so I got an epidural. It was my hope to have a natural delivery, but that didn't happen that way. But I'm not mad about it, and I'm pretty darn proud of myself for the progress I did make. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. I think that's pretty much how it happened. So moving through those contractions, did all that, and we got the other thing I was doing was shooting I had the pen thing. I was shooting that up. And it just was not, it wasn't going to be enough for me to rest, and I really needed to rest to push. And so that was the best, in my brain, the best option for me, because I was trying my best not to have a C-section. I did not want a C-section if I could help it. So we got the epidural that came in. I was dead in the middle of a contraction, and it was so funny because I was trying to see the needle, and James was like, no. I was trying to see the needle. James didn't want to let me see the needle. But I got the epidural, and after epidural, it did what it needed to do, and I took a good nap. I think I woke up at 6 or 7, something like that. And I feel like I took a few naps, because after the epidural is a bit of a blur, a little bit. I couldn't really get up anymore after that, so I was just like sitting up in the bed. They rearranged me a couple times, sat me up, so she would move down, all those things. My family came, and I say family, my mom, his grandmother, and my aunt, like kind of switching places, and then my doula was there. So we were just in there just waiting for her to do what she needed to do to move down. And so we were just chilling. We played some music, and we were just all chilling, just waiting. Excuse me. I'm drinking the Goddess Collection tea. For my PCOS girls, this is the Baby Boom tea. And I'll probably make a video about this later. Tell you how it's going. Anyway, and why I'm drinking it. But anyway, so we're waiting, and then I remember the OB coming in to check. The OB on call that came in to check. She's like, all right, 100%, 100%, 100%. Right before that, I think right before that, I started throwing up, right? I missed a whole bunch of things. Rewind back up. I want to say, I can't remember if it was before or after she came in to check me, but I just know I was like 8 or 9, and lady was like, all right, it's almost go time, let's get her in position, whoop, 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 make sure that baby come down, all these things. And then them contractions started hitting me. I felt like I was getting hit by a train every minute. Okay, so I remember her coming in. I had to change y'all. My memory card died. But I remember I remember feeling like I was getting hit by a train every minute. It was like back to back to back to back. Like, oh my gosh. And I had gotten an epidural. Mind you, I can't really feel my legs, but I was feeling it in my back. And so I remember like grabbing James's hand, squeezing his hand, like digging my head in his stomach. He's got a little cushion there, so I'm like digging his head in my head in his stomach, and like trying to like make my way through him. But I kept thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. I was like, can you give me something? I need something. I can't do this. Mind you, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm on Pitocin, of course, because they induced me. And James had a comment before that one of the nurses kind of like up my shit, and so up my Pitocin, and I was like, oh, because they were hitting me like bricks. So I was like, they were like, one of the nurses goes, we can get you a boost. I was like, run the boost, go get the boost. Where is he? How fast can he get here? You're telling me I gotta push. Don't wait until I actually gotta push. Get him here right now, like right here, like stat, like come on dog, because if we gotta push, I need to be able to push. So he comes up, and it's so funny, he comes in, it's a man, anesthesiologist, comes in, he's like, all right, I'm about to have a baby's coming, if I gotta do this, the baby's on his way. It's like 10 minutes, the baby gonna be here. I don't know, I have no recollection of the time, how much time has passed, or any of that. I was not checking the clock. It was dark in my room. I didn't see the sun come up, sun come down, none of that, because we weren't by like the sun, or like the window. Our window wasn't like facing the outside like that. It was, but not for us to see the sun. So I don't know what time it is. I just know I'm having contractions. Like so much time has passed. It feels like forever, but oh Lord, I just need a boost. So he gives me the boost, and I relax a little bit, and I think after that the doctor comes in, and she's like 100%, 100%, 100%, right? And my doula leans over to me, and she says, when you feel pressure, you push. And they were trying to get me to push on my back, but I told them, I was like, look, I know I ain't got no legs right now, but I can't do this on my back. I don't have no bearings on my back like that. Put me on my side. So they helped me. Like, I had one leg was tingly, so I could move that one a little bit. One of them I couldn't do anything with, and so I moved my body to the side where the one that was dead, James and my doula held that one up, and I was leaning on the side where I had a little tingle. So I was leaning on my right side, and they had the oxygen on my face, and I felt that pressure. I felt that pressure, and I remember I didn't say nothing. All I did was point. I'm like pointing, like it's here. The pressure is here, and I pushed. I pushed 4 times, and she was out. it was James. I'm gonna have James tell his perspective of the story, but James said, well, I pushed twice. They let me feel her head, and I was like, oh, bet. Like, okay, we're making progress. Let's get her ass out. I pushed 2 more times, and she was out.
It's okay. It's okay,
baby out. And they threw her on my chest, and I was just so like, I was tired. I remember being tired, but so relieved that she was out. So relieved that I did not have her in my belly anymore, because pregnancy is not fun. Carrying is not the most fun thing. And I remember they checked the cord for me. One of the things I asked for in my birth plan was for them to wait for the cord to be white. Everybody checked. My doula checked. The doctor checked. Everybody confirmed that her cord was white. She hell, but like it didn't take that. I think she had been in there for a while. It didn't take that long. And so her cord was white. She got everything out her cord, and James cut the cord. And she hollered. It took her a little minute, but she definitely screamed. And thinking about it now, I'm getting a little bit emotional because she's so big now. But because I didn't cry then, I did not cry then. I'm definitely getting emotional now. Like thinking about it, talking about it. It was just a relief. It was a relief because I don't know if you'll see any of it, but in my diaries I talk a lot about. In my voice diary, my pregnancy voice diary, I talked a lot about being anxious and just being really nervous about her livelihood. And stillbirths happen and all these things, and I was just so relieved that we made it and she came out guns blazing. And we did that like together, me and Tegan and James and my team of people. My doula, the nurses were great, my family did well. My mom was crying, his mom was crying, and I birthed the 8-pound 3-ounce baby girl, and it was July the 2nd. So I think we went in, it was probably July 1st. It ended up being Saturday morning or something, I think, because I think I was only in labor for like 20 hours. And to be induced, that's actually pretty good. Some people are in labor after being induced for like 48 hours. It takes a little minute, but for me it didn't take that long. So yeah, we did it, and that is basically my labor and delivery story. We were at the hospital for like maybe 2 days ish, a day and a half, something like that, and we went home, and it was solid. Like it was great. It was great. We yeah, it was 2 days. I had on a Sunday, went home Tuesday morning, and we moved a week from the day we went home. So it was just a whirlwind of a time, but it was solid. I will say that I feel like I've had a pretty positive labor and delivery story. I had a positive induction experience. The hospital we were at was great. I could not do my water birth because I had gotten an epidural and there was meconium in her sac. So on top of the fact that they didn't even have a room available for me to even do a water birth at the time, I think it just worked out the way exactly it was supposed to. And so I am thankful to God for our labor and delivery story. It's just crazy. Pregnancy is crazy. Pregnancy is wild. Labor and delivery is just as crazy and wild to me. I wish baby does for all the people who are trying to conceive, and I am hoping and praying for a safe, calm, and smooth delivery for all those who are preparing to give birth. It's wild. Labor and delivery is a thing. Have your birth plans, because I definitely had mine. Had my birth plan, had all the things. We came locked and loaded. Big shout out to my doula, Full Bloom Birthing, for making sure we were fully prepared for our birthing experience. We definitely went in confident. We definitely went in ready. We definitely went in just really, really, really prepared. So that is my labor and delivery story. I hope I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. But if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for others. I am trying to push out all my pregnancy content, like just reeling back, especially my baby's turning 1 soon. So I'm trying to get a lot of this stuff out for y'all to see, because I do think that I had a pretty positive experience this first pregnancy. So yeah, that's my story. So I guess I will see y'all in the next video, whatever that video will be. And thank you for watching.